Oh, the eclipse has been very intense and a bit purgy. It's obviously a biggie for a lot of people, and what I'm channeling now is about abilities and gifts. I've met a few people in the past couple of days, just bumped into these light beings, angels in body, in physical matter, and in physical form, I think I wanted to say. But there's so many tangents coming through, like there's so many downloads, upgrades again. I don't really know what's going on, but when we move through the remembrance, healing, whatever people want to call it, psychosis, downloading of information from across the realms, because we've come into our full purpose, which might initiate us into a realm that we've never been to before, or realms, plural, into states of mediumship, into various ways of connecting with the unseen realms. It can be really overwhelming, pull ourselves back from community. We can be overstimulated by sound and da-da-da-da. Once we sort of master it, learn to master it, it's over time. I met someone last night who sort of just made me think of something I've just experienced now. Is like, I watched him pack his backpack. He'd like maybe just finished work or something, and I watched him like refold all of his backpack into it, and I was like really impressed. These things impress me. It's just a funny thing. I think some of us with not neurotypical brains, I mean, I don't think anyone is neurotypical. I think we've all got a different brain, but non-neurotypical brain, we have little tendencies or obsessions that we need to manage, or little ways, or OCD, or whatever people call these things. But I watched him pack his bag, and I was like, oh, okay, really like it. And as he came past, he had a lovely smile, and I was just like, really rate your packing skills, well done, I'm impressed. He was like, what? I said, yeah, I watched you from start to finish pack your bag while I was waiting for my friends to get some chips. And as he was talking to me, I could tell that he was, one, on another plane, two, he had his earpods in, so he was listening to something motivational, talking to me, but also conscious of what was going on around him. So there's like 4 or 5 levels of presence. Now, some may say that's not being present at all, or you spread yourself thin. But when we embody our true evolution, when we evolve beyond the physical realm, which a lot of special and gifted children, which they talked about before, about autism and Asperger's, various things, they're all tapped in very powerful ways, and the level of psychic ability is now being talked about. But a lot of us knew that, these special brains were connecting with life from the unseen realms. What I've just experienced now is there was something on the box on the television, not television itself, because I don't do that. There was a documentary. I'm listening to a channeling from Thoth, something coming through from somebody, and then my music is on, and then I'm also hearing something else. So I was spread across 3-4 planes. Now, that back in the day would have been much more difficult for me to feel peace or okay with. I'm in my own space now, so it's easier for me to manage an incredible amount of energy activity when I'm by myself. I'm not in a hermit stage. It's just we have to pull ourselves in. I had a sociable night last night, various things, and you come back the next day and you process what you need to, you protect. Not that it was a fantastic experience, but you're still in other people's energies. So 5:15 on the clock here. So you just have to be mindful. You come away, you do your bits, you sleep, you rest. But this eclipse is really, I think, starting to give us a real sense of purpose, things we're really just leaving behind, and old identities, and really embracing who we truly are, who we're meant to be, according to our own narrative, not the narratives and opinions of anybody else that has potentially 505 on this clock, shaped how we viewed ourselves. That has all disintegrated now, and oh gosh, so much is speaking to me. So I don't really know. The main point is when we don't be try not to judge the overwhelm that one might be experiencing right now. When we learn to get better at navigating messages that are coming through from various realms, whatever, animals, spirits, and every time I say whatever, they do get upset, so apologies. I don't mean it disrespectfully. It's just I'm trying to catch the things that come through, so to make sense in a vocal way while I'm processing in a non-verbal. But the main point is we do get less and less overstimulated. We do get better and better at navigating or being able to concentrate or absorb knowledge from different places at the same time simultaneously. Now, I'm not saying that we don't do that anyway, because that's obviously subconscious. Like things are going in our brain all the time that we may or may not notice. I guess once we've done the healing work, we observe a lot more what goes into our subconscious. But for the purpose of this is a lot of whether I don't really like the term ADHD. I don't believe it's a thing. I think it's a highly spiritually gifted connection to the unseen realms, and when not managed correctly, connected to our gut, our diet, it can inflame the body, the brain in ways, and we act, one may act in erratic ways. But as we learn and talk more about energy and mediumship and evolution of our brains at the minute, cellular repair, cellular evolution, we're just going to get better and better at doing this stuff. 717, this is going to sound like a ramble. I'll have to watch it back at some point to see if I put it out or where this thread is. I do think there is a thread. Someone's going to know what I'm talking about. And even if it's one person, it's my mum. I'm only joking. I don't even think she watches this. But I just think we're all going to get better and better at doing it. I know, because before, when I would be really unhappy or have to sort of lock myself away to deal with the various strands coming in, now they've sort of like plaited themselves into a harmonious, the only thing I can see is a DNA strand in my head, but like a helix, like a plait, and they're coexisting simultaneously, harmoniously. Not all the time. There are spikes depending on energetic shifts globally, galactically as well at the minute. But fear not. Fear doesn't exist. Let's try not to be overwhelmed. Take ourselves to a quiet place, or put music on, or have a breath of fresh air, and know that whether you're in the first month, 2 months, 3 months, year, 2 years of greater awakenings of spiritual gifts, which we all have, we're all from different, I was going to say camps there, so I don't know, that's for someone. There's all different types, so some of us will have similar things, other of us will have different, but they all intermingle. Excuse me. And it is absolutely knackering as well, not just because I had a late night, but in terms of trying to process this stuff, especially when you're in other people's energies, so you're seeing a little bit of what they're up to. And that's why it's really important that I take myself away from people and have some quiet time, because as someone said the other day, like, there is no off switch, which there is. It's just they've seen one version of me when I was in an environment with lots of people. Is actually, that's not my best self. My best self is when I manage my days in quiet, and then if I need to be around a lot of people, then I come back and have a few days slowing down, slower pace, nourishing myself with my own food, and knowing my body rhythm and body clock, and what elementals are calling to me that day. So yeah, just go slowly. Like, this is big times ahead. 10-10, new beginnings.